Hi, I'm Nick Bonner for TreeStuff.com. Maybe you just bought an Akimbo and you're watching this video because you're excited that it's coming. Maybe you're looking at one and you just want to know more about how it works. But today we're going to talk about how to tune the Akimbo to your specific rope. We're not going to cover all the ropes. We're just going to look at what it's like for me to tune it to this piece of HCP that I climb on so much. So when you look at the Akimbo, you're going to see right away that it has two tunable friction points, and the way that those operate is these little hooks here come off, and when the Akimbo is open, I can't get enough of that. I love it, right? It's so cool the way that it opens. So once it's open, that's going to allow these bollards, or the pins that the bollards are mounted to pop out and rotate, and you're going to see that there are kind of placement pins, and there's two of them which limit the range, and that's how you're going to set this, and each position dramatically changes the angle of approach for the cam, and it's really a very ingenious idea. So let's go ahead and set this all the way out like this. All right, so that's on A. We'll lock that, and then this one we will take to 1, and we'll lock that. And now let's go ahead and put the Akimbo on our rope. So to do that is pretty easy. I think that's like kind of the star feature of the Akimbo, is how this works. So you put it on like that, and then just zipper shut and pow. So there we go. Let's go ahead and see if it works. So basic function test on our 11mm rope in these two pin positions. It does stop and hold. We'll see about releasing it. So that's actually pretty good right out of the box for me on those two tightest. Maybe those are the tightest settings. Let's see here. So there you go, nice one-handed release. So I think I got pretty lucky. Let's go ahead and try the opposite end of that spectrum. And the adjustment of the Akimbo is kind of an interesting, I think, an interesting thing, because there's a lot of options, but it is very easy to do because it's toolless. So there we go. We'll go ahead and we'll adjust this one all the way to the other side. This is, I think, one of the most important things when you're trying something, is check both ends of the adjustment range and see what those extremes look like, and then you can work on fine-tuning it from one of those two ends. Yeah, I might not even be able to get, oh, there we go. All right, so here we are, and we're on the farthest, so we're on 5 and 6 and F and G on the top. And so I kind of noticed right away that it's definitely, it doesn't feel like it's expanding as much. So I'm almost struggling to go down in this position. You can see that the device isn't even really opening all the way. So for me and for this rope combination, this is definitely not the right cam setup. So I think what I'm going to do is go back to that original setup, and because it worked for me, I'm going to do a little bit more testing with it, low and slow, and then I think the next step for me would be to get a climb in, see how I liked that, and then maybe from there start making one pin adjustments on one side only. Doing another low and slow function test, assuming that it hadn't dramatically changed the function, maybe testing again, or when I find that sweet spot, just sticking with it. So very quickly there, I was able to restore it to the configuration that worked well for me, and that was the low end of everything, all the way open. You see right away the difference is pretty staggering the way it was the last time in terms of how much it was able to open. Make sure that my function test is working. Start, stop, go. And I'm pretty happy with that. So that's it. That's how to tune your Rock Exotica Akimbo and try to set the friction bollards in different settings depending on which rope you're climbing on. Please always remember when you're trying these devices, start out with a function test, start out with some low and slow testing. Don't just go straight up as high as you can and then figure out at the top that maybe you haven't set it up correctly. So thanks for watching, and please climb safely.